Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David from the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you guys the pre-match pump-up for today's Nuno derby, Tottenham versus Wolves. And may I say, it's well and truly on. Wolves fans booing Harry Kane as he was getting off the team bus going into the stadium. And look, we'll be taking you through the starting lineups and taking you all the way through to the watch-along with your boys, Ben and Sim. Make sure you smash a like on the stream. Smash or subscribe on the channel if you're new. If you want to come on and share your thoughts, guys, before this game, the link is up in the community section. If you're a channel member, just get on that and click on it and come on and have your say. Look, and as well, make sure you do get your super chats in, guys. It is a great way to get your support behind, the people's channel, We Are Tottenham TV. So get your super chats in, guys. Let's just run through a few things for you guys out there. A bit of team news. So look, it is confirmed that Joe Rodon is out. He got injured the day of the Pacos de Ferreira game. We also have Christian Romero is confirmed out. Christian Romero is out due to a bit of a niggling injury. Cameron Carter-Vickers, of course, is out with a twisted ankle. And we have Ndombele, who, of course, is not a part of Nuno's plans. So he definitely won't be involved. With Wolves, guys, they only have 15 senior players available. Three or four of the under-23 players were actually on the bench there last week, and I expect the same to be the same again today. Main injury news for Wolves: no Johnny, no Bolly, no Pedro Neto, and no Podence. So the only changes I would be expecting them to make, maybe from last week's 11 versus Leicester, is maybe Semedo for Kean Hoover and maybe then Donko for Matinho, just to combat the aggressiveness of Højbjerg and Skip in the midfield, guys. And we do a few stats as well, just for you guys out there. Today is actually the 100th meeting between Tottenham and Wolves. And I have the head-to-head here. So in the 99 games that we have played, Tottenham have actually come out the better of this with 49 wins, losing 29 and drawn 21. Tottenham, believe it or not, have only lost one of the last 7 at the Molineux, winning 4 and drawn 2. So, guys, anyone that was hesitating on backing Spurs today, you better be putting on them trousers and running down to the bookies and getting your fiver on, because all the odds are in our favour. And I definitely do see us feeding the Wolves today. Look, hopefully Harry Kane brought his packed lunch and starts feeding sandwiches to them, because that's what we need. Hopefully Son done the same. But look, we won't waste any time. This show is here for the fans, so let's start getting them on. We have our man Brad Matthews here. Let's get him on. Brad, my man, David? How are things? Are you pumped?
Yeah, oh yeah. The old nerves kicked in as soon as I woke up this morning. You suddenly get that tension that you get throughout the season. Definitely.
Yeah, look, I do get the odd nerves here and there as well, Brad. But look, it's what are we at now? It's 1:45, so we're less than just over an hour to kick off. Just a quick shout out to Hygely01 with the super chat as well. Big yourself up. Really do appreciate it. Everyone else, guys, please do get the super chats and that in. So Brad, look, let's get on to it. I suppose the most talking point today is do you go with the same starting 11 from Man City, or do you change it up and maybe bring in a Harry Kane up front?
Well, as tempting as it would be to bring Harry Kane, obviously he's a world-class striker, I would go with the same first 11 that played so well last week. If we'd have lost against Man City, then maybe there's an argument for starting Harry. But I think, let's show faith in the players that got us that really good win last week. And I'll tell you what, Kane on the bench, he's a pretty good player to have to bring on if you need him. And hey, look, he's only been training for a couple of weeks. There's all this thing about his future. Once the season starts properly, if we still got him, then you can sort of bring him into how we've played with him before. But I think Nuno will do this. I think Nuno will keep him on the bench. But I would go with the same first 11 that played so well last week.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I think every single one of them deserved it. Just off last week, do you think that we will see the same aggression, same intensity, same passion, same desire, and same hunger for the 3 points this week like we did last week?
I really hope so. I think that the impression I got last week was that it seems to be a team that are happy playing again and playing for each other and that sort of thing. So I would hope that happens today. I think it will. if they have the same intensity as they had last week, well, then as long as we put our chances away, then we should get the points today. They've got to. I think one thing we'll need to see from this team is what happens when if we went behind. How do they react to that? Because that's so it's very well when you. And I found this with Spurs last season that when they're on top and winning or whatever, they look really good. As soon as it started to go against them, they sort of fell in a big heap and didn't recover very many times. I'm hoping that this team under Nuno will be the same. Won't be the same. Will be different and will react to like they did under Pochettino. I mean, with Pochettino, the game was never over until the referee blew his whistle, and I found out last week that they played right to the very end. Yeah. As I said before, I didn't feel as nervous last week. Sort of defending a 1-0 lead. So I'm really hoping that they have the same intensity. If they do, then the 3 points we're more or less there.
100%. Look, if we can carry this into more games than not, we're going to win. We're going to win them because teams nowadays, look, they're not up for the fight. They're not up for the challenge. A lot of them, and they don't want that intensity. They don't want that aggression. So definitely, if we can bring it to them, make ourselves absolutely horrible to play against, I'll take that all day long, and I think we'll have a very successful campaign. We are going. The lineups are out in 9 minutes, but Brad, before the lineups come out, what formation do you see us playing? Do you think we still see a 4-3-3, or do you think Nuno might try and counteract their wing backs and go with a 5-3-2?
I think he'll start off like we did last week because I know it's a different team on Thursday night, but I think changing the tactics on Thursday, they didn't look very comfortable and didn't adapt very well against a mediocre Portuguese team. So I think they'll go with the same lineup tonight, same tactics. It's very difficult if you play the same first 11. It's very difficult to go to a back three because how do you play? Do you bring Højbjerg into more defensive like Eric Dyer used to do back in the day? So I would say that they'll play with the same 4-3-3 because I noticed against City that playing further forward, those 3 quick forwards really cause Man City a lot of problems. And they say that attack is the best form of defence, and I think that proved it last week that they were always worried about us attacking them. Whereas under Mourinho, we sat back so deep that a team attacking us didn't really have to worry about it too much. So I think they go with the same tactics. Again, we'll see what happens if we go behind or if it doesn't go well, if it's 0-0 at half-time or whatever. The other factor I want to add about today is that we're away from home. So the crowd are going to be on Wolves' side in the main. So that'll be interesting to see how we react to that because, it's a big cliche, but the crowd last week was a 12th man, and that's one of the best atmospheres I've seen at Tottenham certainly in a new stadium for a long, long time. So that'll be interesting today. But going back to your original question, I think it'll go with the same. Why would you change it? Let them worry about us, not us worry about them. Obviously, if Traore starts getting away, then you have to sort of rethink it. But I think we'll go with the same tactics.
It's not Traore, Brad. He has no end product, so it may as well just be Usain Bolt. You know what I mean? That's what I call him because he has all the pace, but he definitely doesn't have the finishing or the end product. We just take a couple of super chats here quickly, Brad. Dark Sun G says, David, are you doing a watch along? I usually watch Spurs games with 2 watch alongs. I'm asking since I saw the stream on Match Channel, but it's gone. Come on, you Spurs. I'm going 3-0. Look, no watch along today, my man. The only watch along that's worth watching today is WeAreTottenhamTV. So make sure you tune in. It'll be straight up after this, Dark Sun G. Sorry that we disappoint you with the 2 watch alongs. You're a busy bee on match days, I see. 2 watch alongs and the game. Absolutely love it, man. You're brilliant. And 3-0. Yeah, look, I'd take that. I'd be more than happy with that coming out of the Man U with 3 goals to 0. Just a quick stat for you, Dark Sun G. Wolves haven't won any of their Premier League opening home games since they've been promoted. So maybe all the odds are stacked in our favour, and the 3-0 might come true. And Daniel Phillips says very confident we can finish top 3 this year. Daniel, I absolutely love it. Brad, do you agree with Daniel here? Do you think we can finish top 3?
That's a big call. 4 weeks ago,
Dan's a big man. Big call for a big man.
4 weeks ago, I would have said there's no way in the world we'll even make top 4, let alone top 3, and that 6 would be the best we could do. Last week, after last week's performance, if we can play with that intensity and that sort of, there's no reason why we shouldn't make a top 4. The other teams are looking good. I mean, Liverpool had good wins. Man City won yesterday. Chelsea have had good wins. So it's very, very difficult. But hey, look, you only have to get a decent run of results. And I predicted a slow start to the season. Well, 3 points in 3 points is brilliant. So,
Yeah.
that's sort of blown my prediction out of the water straight away. So hopefully I'll continue to be wrong and we'll start winning. But yeah, I always said that we'd play well in the second half of the season because we'd had new players bedding in, getting used to the tactics, used to the coach, that sort of thing. If we get a good start, then there's no reason why we shouldn't do really, really well. I'm not sure about top 3, but top 4, I think that's if we play like we can play like we did last week. It's all about consistency. Today's game, this is the sort of game you have to win. It's no use beating City and then losing at Wolves. You've got to win these games, and that's going to be the main. Is how we play against the teams that we should be beating. If we go to Anfield and lose or draw, we go to Man City, lose or draw, go to Chelsea, lose or draw. Well, that's football. They're good teams, but I think the teams that we should be beating or certainly not losing to, that's going to be how that'll be a good indication of how we'll do this season.
Yeah, it really will. I agree with that. And look, no better way to get a good start than getting 6 points, 2 out of 2. City and Wolves, that'll be absolutely love it. Jack Kanicki's in the chat. Jack, the link is up in the community section. Get yourself on, guys. The link is up there. Everyone get on, like Brad here, and come on and have your say. But Brad, he also wants to know where your flat cap is, Brad.
There you go.
There we are.
My flat cap sits with my guitars. It's in the pride of place, so it's within reach. You have to have your guitars and your flat cap within reach. So yeah. So
absolutely.
Sorry, Jack. It'll definitely be on for the Irish Hotspur fan show tomorrow.
100%. Look, you never turn up without it. We can definitely rely on you. I think I might have to make it mandatory around here at WeAreTottenhamTV too. Luke C says Luca does well against Wolves. Goal incoming today. Yeah, look, I really hope so. Look, Lucas Moura is a huge part of Nuno's plans, as we can see, Lukey boy, and he's been playing very well. And look, a lot of people are predicting a Lucas Moura goal. Dark Sung G was predicting one yesterday. So look, maybe a lot of people are confident, and hopefully he does get one. I really hope he does. But Brad, the threat of Usain Bolt down the wing there. How do you think we stop him? Is Tanganga defending him one-on-one more than enough?
Or I think Tanganga last week.
The 3 will compensate and come out.
He will. I mean, Traore's more on the right-hand side, isn't he? From memory, is he more of
no. See, last week against Leicester, he played on the left. Trincao was on the right. The youngster Trincao was on the right, and Traore was on the left.
Well, I feel a bit better than that. I think Tanganga. I think with Traore, as you're saying, the end product is dodgy. So all that Tanganga has to do is not commit himself, but just try and push him wide. Push him out so he doesn't, if you push him inside, then he's always got that chance of the through ball and the shot at goal. If you push him wide and keep him wide, stop the cross, then you should be able to cut him out. So Tanganga last week was, phenomenal. That was just a brilliant performance. Yeah. And if, again, like the rest of the team, if he continues to play like that, I've got no doubt about his ability to have a good game against Traore. Especially if he gets that first tackle in, put him in the stand in the first few minutes. Which I think from memory, when we won up there a couple of seasons ago with Tonga, I think that's what we were doing that day. We were just basically being very un-Tottenham, just kicking them all over the park. But it worked.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Tonga near the very end, Brad. Tonga near the very end, wasn't it, from the corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely love it. There you are, guys. Brad's even bringing memories. Of wins to get you pumped up. He's taking it to another level. Lineups will be incoming in 2 minutes' time, guys. 2 minutes' time. Dark Sun G21 says with the super chat, big yourself up. He says, I'm hoping for Spurs goal because out of all the Premier League teams, Son still doesn't have a goal against Wolves. Only 2 assists. Son with 1 goal. Moura, 1 goal. Reggie or Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Absolutely love it, Dark Sun G. There you are, guys, coming out with more stats. Son doesn't have a goal against Wolves. He only has 2 assists. Moura has a goal. And he's saying he also thinks that, so this is his prediction, Son with a goal today, Moura with a goal, or Reguilon or Pierre-Emile Højbjerg with a goal today. Absolutely love it, Dark Sun G. There's definitely a chance that can happen. Guys, keep getting in the super chats. Keep help supporting the channel. It's absolutely brilliant. You have no idea how much it really does help out. Brad, Lineups incoming. What do you think? Do you think there will be any surprises? Do you think we should see any surprises whatsoever?
I don't actually. I think the first 11 will be as it was last week. I think Kane will be on the bench. So I don't see any surprises unless there's unknown injuries that have
Well,
happened in training, that sort of thing.
I have the lineup here, Brad. I have
Okay.
the lineup here. So, guys, the lineup is as follows: Hugo Lloris in goals, Japhet Tanganga at right back, Sanchez and Dyer with the centre back partnerships, Reguilon at left back, Højbjerg and Skip, followed by Dele Alli as the midfield three, with Lucas outright, Bergwijn out left, and Heung-min Son up top. So it's an unchanged side from the Man City game. Let me just check, see if Harry Kane is on the bench. Harry Kane is on the bench. The bench is as follows: Galini, Doherty, Davies, Sessegnon, Winks, Lo Celso, Brian Hill, Harry Kane, and Dane Mbappe. So that's the bench. There you have it, guys. So I just absolutely no changes from the starting 11 with the main man himself. Well, not the main man anymore, but the man himself, Harry Kane, on the bench. So that'd be very, very interesting to see how many minutes he gets. Brad, if Harry Kane doesn't see minutes today, does that tell us he's off?
It depends how the game goes. If it's 0-0 or 1-0 down and you're into the last 20 minutes, then you've got to make changes and you'd expect Kane to come on. And if he didn't come on, then yeah, I think that the writing was on the wall. If we're winning comfortably, then you don't change him. Maybe we might bring him on for 5 minutes at the end because you want to take a player off like Son and rest him if we're winning comfortably. But certainly, if we're in a situation where we need to make changes to win the game or to draw the game or whatever, and Kane doesn't come on, then I think that probably does say a lot. I'm looking at the lineups. Actually, what I said about changing the tactically, I guess with Davis on the bench, you can go to a back five with Davis on the left hand side of the back three. So there's the scope is there to make a change. But with Kane on the bench, it'll be interesting. I expect him to come on if we do need to change things around. But if we're winning comfortably, then I wouldn't expect him to come on.
No, 100%. I couldn't agree more. Just two super chats to get to. Daniel Phillips says, keep up the great work. Thank you, Daniel Phillips. Really, really appreciate it, my man. You keep up the good work and whatever you're doing in life too, my man. And hopefully Tottenham keep up the good work today with a nice win. Dark Sung G 21 says, why does Mr. Easy Pass on the bench rather have Harvey White, to be honest? Mr. Easy Pass, for anyone that doesn't know, that is Harry Winks. Yeah, I don't know, Dark Sung G. I don't know.
Good call. That's a good call.
I cannot look. He's definitely not going to see minutes. I'd say Lo Celso come on before him, so I wouldn't worry too much about that, Dark Sung G. I wouldn't worry about too much about that. Brad, with how Nuno really knows this squad, really knows these players, do you think that it could end up affecting Nuno's preparations, that it might make him change his approach in terms obviously not formation wise but tactically? What do you think it might hinder or help our preparations for this game?
What the Kane situation?
Yeah.
I get the impression from Nuno that he's very much focused on coaching the team and the players that he's got. So I think then that's, you just go back through every interview about Harry Kane. He said, he hasn't trained. He's training now with the boys and we'll assess him and see if he's ready. So he seems to be very focused on, here's my players, I'm training them for the game. And that's how he's going to go. So I don't think it would have affected. Obviously, it's going to be in the back of his mind that will we have Kane at the end of the week? And that'll affect his plans going forward. But I think certainly for these first couple of games, I don't think it will. He seems to be very focused on getting the team fit, getting the team right, and then you sort of look in the tactics and that sort of thing. But I don't think it'll affect him. No, I mean, he said the other day, I don't. Was it? He said he made a quote, didn't he? I don't try and convince players to play for Tottenham Hotspur. I train players to play for Tottenham Hotspur, or something like that. Paraphrase, which is similar to what Gino said actually.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. I think he's quite professional, quite focused.
Oh, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Well, Brad, look, I will let you go there, my man. Thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully, you sit back before the game, with a nice can or two, sit back and enjoy it. But before I do let you go, I want your score prediction. I want you to give everyone a line to get them pumped up and end it on the biggest come on, you Spurs.
Right, my prediction is a 2-1 Spurs win. I think Wolves will score. I think we'll score first. We might be 2-0 up, and then they'll score with 10 minutes to go, and we'll go through the normal sort of So I think a 2-1 win, 6 points out of 6 points. Watford at home in the next game. So yeah, I think we'll win today. And all I can say is, come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs! Absolutely love it, Brad. Absolutely brilliant. Brad is pumped for the game, guys. There you go. Brad is absolutely pumped for it. He can't wait to sit down and eat some Wolves. He cannot wait. Well, look, we won't waste any more time, guys. We have another guest sitting in here. Let's bring him on. It's our guy. Everyone knows him. He was on the channel doing the watch-alongs over the summer on the Euros with me. And it's Jack Kinnicky. Let's get him on.
What's up, David?
What's up, Jack? How are things, my man?
Just drinking the coffee, and that's what winners drink in the morning, David. I'm pretty sure, plenty of the starters had much of that. I know Sonny's a coffee drinker. Lucas probably is, considering, Brazil, a lot of coffee beans coming from that area. It's probably, it's the winner's drink, David.
No, 100%. The early bird gets the worm, Jack. It's very early over where you are right now. He's up. He's got the Colombian coffee into him. I hope it's just coffee when it comes from Colombia, Jack. Only joking. And no, look, hopefully we go and get about it today. Same starting 11 versus Man City. Are you happy, Jack?
I'm happy, David. I think we're maybe 2 for 3 in terms of, our predicted lineups, Dave. We kind of got the Pashos game maybe a bit wrong. We did maybe say that back 3, back 5 was possible. But this one, we got it spot on again. It's the Man City lineup. Hopefully Nuno's just realizing, it's the same ideas, defensively. If we just go in with the same exact energy, defensively, the same exact organization, doesn't matter the team that we're facing, Man City or Wolves. Hopefully, maybe going forward, though, he has to change things up because simply we're probably going to have a lot more of the ball than we did against City. We can't rely on maybe the counterattack as much. We're going to have to figure out what to do, in possession. And, David, we broke that down, in terms of how we break down, Wolves' 5-3-2, 3-5-2 system. But you do really hope that Nuno kind of considered that, because we definitely will be having a lot more of the ball.
100%. Well, look, before I get you to give us maybe a bit of a breakdown, Jack, I see a lot of people in the comments saying, where can we watch the game? Where can we watch the game? Look, guys, it is not shown on TV, but We Are Tottenham TV, they work the magic. They'll have a link to be watching it. So, guys, why not tune in and watch it with your two favourite, Ben and Sim? Look, last week, absolutely cracking watch along. It was brilliant, telling stories from the childhood along with the sideman John Cooper, who's dying to be a member of the Flat Cap Army. So he is. He loves it. So, guys, look, you can tune in and watch it with the boys today. Get fully behind them. Let's make it a very good atmosphere today for the watch along. Plenty of jokes and a win to boot to go with it. Absolutely love it. But, Jack, maybe break it down a little bit for us on where you think this game will be won and lost by Tottenham today.
I mean, maybe we could start with maybe how we might lose it, and then, maybe go to, the better part of it, David, and how we might win it. How we might lose it is simply just in the case that Adama Traore, despite maybe his touch, despite his finishing ability, it will be definitely a battle between him and Tanganga. He won 6 aerial duels last match, David, which means that they are plenty capable, launching it forward to him. Maybe he might put a knockdown to Jimenez. Maybe they're also even considering, since Jimenez had that horrific injury, they need to find someone else to be capable in the air up front, and maybe it is Adama Traore. Maybe instead of the baby oil, he's been working on the box jumps, David, trying to, maybe work on his aerial ability over the summer instead of, the other parts of his, weightlifting routine. So it's possible, David, and that's something we have to consider. But then maybe as well, we have to think about if they go with a Joao Matinho, Neves kind of midfield.
Just quickly, the Wolves lineup is out, so we can confirm this for you here, Jack. Jose San goes. Nelson Semedo at right wing back. Max Kilman, Cody, and Saiss is the 3 centre backs. Marcel at left wing back. With João Matinho and Neves in midfield, come on, that's a mistake. That's a mistake right there. That's exactly what we wanted. Along with Francisco Trincao, the young guy from Barcelona, the Portuguese guy. Raul Jimenez and Adama Traore, aka Usain Bolt, because he's no end product. He's just as quick as Usain Bolt. That's it. So that's the Wolves lineup, Jack. Jack, what do you make of this lineup? It's exactly what we wanted with Moutinho and Neves in front. We were thinking maybe that they could bring in Den Donker to maybe toughen it up, but just get Højbjerg and Skip to just eat Moutinho and Neves alive, just like they've done with the City midfield. Constantly come in, clatter, and turn the ball over in there. Do you think Neves Moutinho will be up for the fight?
No, I mean, David, they're going to have to be totally on their game. You consider like any loose touch, any loose ball, maybe in the midfield. I don't really see them, being the ones to win it. So either someone's going to have to step into the midfield and maybe bring in that steal, because it's not really going to come from Neves or Moutinho. Certainly not Moutinho. I mean, the man is 35 years old, David. It's not really, any disrespect to him. I don't really expect him to, at this stage to continue to provide that steal. As well, he's never even been that player when you consider it. He's honestly in fantastic shape. What the managers continue to ask from him.
You see Jack
as well,
running around with his Kerner son around behind him, Jack.
Must be drinking, the fountain of youth, David, because really I don't understand, how he's able to continue at this rate. But as well with Neves, Neves is, a bit of a, you could say he's a bit of a dog. He's a bit of, kind of a tough one, but he's not necessarily like, let's say as strong or as powerful as, Højbjerg or even Højbjerg's shoulder. But as well, Skippy seems to also be from the Viking blood, like Højbjerg. And to be honest, David, it's going to be, a bit scary, you might say, for them. And then we're not even talking about Dele Alli yet. Dele Alli seems to maybe be tapping into, the old kind of nasty Dele Alli, and maybe the old kind of a Dele Alli that we used to love in terms of, his physicality. So to be honest, that three-man midfield could really boss him physically. Maybe they might lose out technically, but I probably wouldn't even argue that. That would be the only thing I might be fearful of.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. That's why we need to get at them quick. That's why we need Skip and Højbjerg to do exactly what they've been doing. And look, we we've kind of seen. Let them go out wide, let them pass it into middle, set the trap, and then just unleash the dogs. Skip, Højbjerg, off you go. Put some pedigree around Neves and Moutinho and just let them eat them up. But look, Jack, that does leave Dele Alli as the free sort of role, as the free sort of midfielder in there, which means then, he will have a free role, which means then he can get forward defensively. We'll outnumber them in midfield. Yeah. How much of a big mistake is it for Bruno Lage, or I think that's a good pronunciation, actually.
Yeah,
fair play.
It might be, David, it might be.
I forget the question now, so we'll go back. So, look,
Dele Alli, talking about Dele
Alli on the free role.
David, he's kind of a box-to-box, midfielder, and even, Nuno described him that. I've never described him that until, Nuno started, calling him that, which maybe, is giving me a bit of encouragement. And I think in one of his post-match press conferences, David, he called him even a runner. He said, he's just one that, just likes to get up and down the pitch, and that's what he's even going to probably be using him as. And to be honest, that's maybe what Dele always should have been. Maybe, of course, maybe Dele used to be that one that used to play off the striker. He used to, maybe bag, the 18 goals, a season kind of, almost, center forward off the striker kind of role. But that's just so kind of fitted to him specifically. And once he kind of fell off, the mark, it's really hard to fit him in after that. And so maybe he's just going to have to learn, like a lot of players, they have to be able to play more than one position very comfortably. I still think maybe Dele could play that position of the past maybe quite well, but you do just have to consider that he's just going to have to learn how to play other positions in order to be considered, for every single lineup.
Yeah, I agree. But look, how important is it, that we do try to exploit Wolves' right-hand side today? Trincao, young. Semedo, young. We have Reguilon. We have Bergwijn, and we have Dele Alli all down that side. How important is it that we get down that side and expose them with the youthfulness they have down there?
It will be interesting. I mean, Semedo and Trincao, in terms that Semedo really maybe has not really proven himself and maybe isn't really so highly rated, even amongst Wolves fans. I don't even think he's so highly rated. But as well, Trincao, is a bit of a talent. From Barcelona. They're both Portuguese. It could be interesting to see how they link up, down that right-hand side. But as well, though, you might consider that, Reguilon did deal with the overlapping runs of Joao Cancelo and Riyad Mahrez, last game, and dealt with it quite well. There's only maybe once where maybe saw him kind of struggle a little bit, but he really did handle it really well. And that's just an unbelievable, task that he seemed to take it in stride. And then you might consider that Region and Bergwijn going up against them, especially if we were to have more of the ball, David. Region and Bergwijn together could be very, very dangerous, especially if Bergwijn is in form, which I really want him to get a goal just so that he can prove everybody wrong.
Yeah, look, that's what we hope he does. We hope they all prove us wrong, and look, hopefully he can get a goal. Even just getting an assist and getting off the mark in that regard would be nice from him. Let's take just a couple of comments here. We have Davies Tamangi says #sell links. Love it. Shamu Van Spurs is saying the Portuguese expressions. I don't know who's on about there. We have Cashel says tough game today. Yeah, it is going to be a tough one. These ones are notoriously tough fairs. And we have Chris. He says, I say a 3-1 for Tottenham. Good call. I love it. I love it. Everyone, get your score predictions in. Let us know what your score predictions are for today's game. I want to see them. Get them in and I'll start calling them out. But Jack, do you think that Tanganga, do you think Jaffet manhandler Tanganga, may I say, because he's an absolute animal. He's, tore Arsenal apart, tore City apart. He's so aggressive. There was even a team that came out today, Jack Grealish, saying that Tanganga broke his thumb last season when he was at Villa. He threw him to the ground and broke his thumb. And then Tanganga was saying about his aggression that it's something he's always had from a child, and every manager has seen it in him, which is brilliant. But Jack, main question is does he have enough room in his pockets to fit in another 30 million? He's already got Grealish, he's already got, Sterling. That's about 140, 150 million. Maybe does he have to put Traore in the ass pocket? Maybe.
I mean, I don't even know, David. He might have to find it's tough, David, because considering all the money that he already has in those pockets, maybe the money in this time might actually be covered in, the baby oil, as well, which might, make the pockets a bit stickier, and then also might even ruin some of the money that he already collected from before. So maybe Jaffet, I hope that he puts some of that cash from before in the bank. But David, you can't deposit more than, 10 grand. At once at a time. So that's also probably a bit complicated for him. So hopefully he doesn't have too much in there, because the money he will be getting from Traore's pockets will be covered in baby oil, David.
Yeah, no, look, with Traore as well and the baby oil, sometimes I think he thinks he's getting ready for a slip and slide. You know what I mean? He just rubs himself up there so people can't grab him. And, honestly, I think someone told him it was like, a wet t-shirt competition in a pool with some KY jelly or something like that. I think someone told him he's playing the wrong sport, man. I think he thinks he's at one of them frat parties in America, Jack. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But look, let's get on to the main man. Our match winner today is Son. Jack, how important is he going to be? Just getting at that back three, and which one across the back three do you pinpoint? Because for me, look, I'm going to eliminate one now, and it's Kilman. Look, this guy is not afraid to run out with the ball. He had 3 or 4 shots against Leicester, so he's not afraid to run and crack one off as well. He's actually a futsal player, believe it or not. He was a futsal player playing for England. Wolves took him on, and he's just progressed. He's a very good player on the ball, and for me, he's very comfortable defending. The only place he doesn't want to be dragged is out into the wide area. So maybe if Bergwijn can get him out there, running off Semedo and him getting to track a run, that would be nice, pulling him out. But Kilman, look, he has some very impressive stats from last week. He was up there with interceptions. He was up there with tackles. He was up there with his passing ability as well. So out of Roman Saiz and Connor Cody, Jack, which one do you think Son needs to run off?
It's going to have to be Connor Cody, as much as I think we all kind of rate Connor Cody, in terms of his technical ability going forward. It's kind of Connor Cody is absolutely the player that Sonny's going to have to target. It's kind of our player we chose to target as well, for our stats with Jack, David. And the reason being is simply because with Connor Cody, he is a bit, he's not a natural defender, let's say. He can kind of actually get caught, maybe being dragged around too much. Jamie Vardy in the last match against Leicester City was kind of pulling them all over the pitch, making huge holes, huge gaps in the middle. And even so, as well, it's just Connor Cody can't keep up with a lot of the pacey players like Jamie Vardy and Sonny as well. So you just have to consider that as where he's not going to be able to keep up with them when they run him behind. So if Sanchez or Moon Boots were to ping a ball in behind, you kind of could consider that maybe that ball might be on the money and Connor Cody probably couldn't keep up with him. But then you have to consider if Sonny just makes intelligent runs that maybe just drag Connor Cody away from the action. That could also just help, Bergvijn or Lucas get forward and score. So I really do think that, if Connor Cody sticks with Sonny, he's going to have lots of problems. So maybe they're going to have to put someone else on Sonny.
Yeah, look, I hope so. I doubt they will, though. It does look like it is just Connor Cody and Kilman and Saeed. So,
yeah.
Look, if I was Sonny, honestly, I'd just be running off the shoulder from him all day. I'd be running across him, and I'd be dropping deep to try and get the ball to run at him as well. Just mix it up.
A bit similar to even what Scarlett was kind of doing, in the Pashos game. It's just no one was ever hitting Scarlett. If you kind of think about it, despite Scarlett never really receiving the ball ever, a lot of the runs he was making, were probably, quite annoying, you would think, for the center back. Just every time, had to consider it, every time had to honor it, and you just kind of think, maybe Sonny this time will have a lot of players that will actually ping it towards him when he does make those intelligent runs, like Scarlett did against Pachos de Ferrer.
Yeah, 100%. I think one thing we might be able to see is what we've seen pre-season. Lucas kind of dropping in, first time pass in behind for Sonny's run. That'd be absolutely nice. Jack, what I do want to talk about is maybe put Tanganga and Skip in the same bracket. Look, the Tottenham boys, they've come through the academy. Do you believe that their mentality is maybe helping the likes of a Sanchez, a Dyer, maybe a Dele, and players like that because of their love, their passion for the game, and maybe silently the role models, because obviously these guys put it in training, and they're probably they put it, they're all in training. Maybe that these players are looking at them and saying, well, hang on, if these guys are coming through and that's what they're doing now, I need to do it. You maybe think they're a very good influence on the squad.
I think first I would just say I think absolutely, David, but then you maybe consider that with the immersion and maybe more of a stronger inclusion of players like Tanganga and Skip, it then is already now complementing players that have wanted to play for the badge, players that have wanted to show to the fans that they want to fight. And this goes from Reguilon. You do consider, despite Reguilon having some atrocious errors from last season, you still always saw how much the guy was running, how much he just gets up and down the pitch. I mean, the guy could probably win a marathon, David, considering how much he's able to go up and down the pitch. And then as well, he's so incredibly brave, you would say, in his tackles. Like sometimes he misses the tackle, but he's always giving a really hard swing at them. He doesn't seem to shy away from any sort of physical battle, as well. He's just relentless going forward. He seems to also hype the crowd up as well when he puts in a good tackle, likes a bit of shithousery as well. And so just as well, then we move on to Højbjerg, someone that's already, deemed to be, the new captain of Spurs, that type of mentality. And then you just look at Lucas, obviously Lucas is not maybe from the academy, but again, Lucas is starting to show, he's a bit of a leader, someone that wants to be, a good influence on the dressing room. He's a huge influence for a lot of the Brazilian players or, Portuguese speaking players, as a role model for them. And then as well, Sonny has become now, the new face of Spurs, seems to be bringing, the captain's energy. And then we go back now to Tanganga and Skip. You just kind of consider that all of these really positive influences maybe are now coming out, in the dressing room and on the pitch. And it's only making players like, Moon Boots and Sanchez a whole lot better.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely agree with that. It's something's definitely rubbing off there anyway. And let's take a few comments here. We have Smart Donut says Reguilon could get an assist today. I believe Nuno will let him get further up and help the attack, and Reguilon could cross well. Yeah, he can. But one thing I would say is look out for him getting on the end of things, especially when the ball's down the right hand side. We've seen it time and time again. The guy, honestly, he's very, very sneaky, Jack. He likes to sneak in back post. Some call him Casper around Tottenham. Casper the ghost. He just sneaks in, my man. Just sneaks in. What other comments have we got here, guys? I would have read out all the score prediction, guys, but unfortunately, people kept on putting in where can we watch the game. So I kind of just spanned out the score predictions. What else have we got? We have Suarez says Kane is on the bench. Of course he is. Jackal, do you think Kane, can come on today, maybe bag a goal, maybe get an assist as well, and just kind of put an end to this whole saga?
No, I think I'd really like to see him come on in the 60th minute. I think that'd be whether we're up 1-0, 2-0, 1-1, whatever the score may be. I feel like he should come on in the 60th minute. I think starting, doesn't make sense. I think you have to reward some of these players. that, put in such a strong performance. They've also, been there for the training. They're in, I don't, as much as Harry Kane is a professional, I feel like these guys, considering, the shape that Nuno has put these guys under, they're probably in much better shape than Harry Kane is. They can probably absolutely run circles around him, you might say, and then, so Harry Kane has to, get back into the shape of things, despite, like I said, his professionalism, he still has to, be able to keep up maybe with the Nuno stamina, you might say, and the Nuno fitness requirements, because Tanguy clearly can't keep up with it. And so you might have to just consider that. And so maybe he comes on in the 60th minute, David. And honestly, it'd be class if he did. Maybe he brings on, scores a brace, gets a header in the back post, kisses the badge, kisses the ring, and then just gives a nice old pump to the crowd. Honestly, that's what we envision. That would be the dream.
I was going to say it there. Nuno's broke Tanguy. It must be a record. He's been in a couple of weeks, and Tanguy wants out. He's
David, I think we joked about the fast food restaurants being closed. And Nuno maybe giving them his picture, and then saying you can't let this guy in anymore. This is his Uber Eats account. You can't let him order anymore. And I think I think that's what Tanguy is realizing. And Tanguy can't take it. I think he's broken him.
No, look, honestly, he's looked at the fitness trainer. He's already tried to assassinate, kidnap him. He can't do it. You know what I mean? So now he's just like, right, I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm out of here. He looks at him and he's already sweating before he's even moved. You know what I mean? No, but look, so you definitely think we'll see Kane kissing the badge, giving it a nice kiss like I tend to do for my little photos, giving it a good badge kiss. Do you think we might see Harry Kane adopt my style of celebration?
No, yeah, I think it's going to have to be, it's hard to say, David. I think, the celebration is always, you kiss the wrist, you kiss the thumb, you kiss the ring, like always, a bit of the Suarez action. And then you give that big pump, facing, his teammates. And then from there, I think, he has to kiss the badge or grab the badge at some point, in that celebration as well. And then hopefully he turns to the camera. If he turns to the camera and points to the badge as well, then David, then but that would be, the icing on the cake. That would be, the whipped cream, to the ice cream at the end there, David, if he were to point towards the camera and the badge.
100%. Kissing the badge would be like, a good chocolate biscuit with your cup of tea. It's the absolute icing on the cake. Of course it is. And Jack, look, maybe last question, because we will be ending off here in the next 2-3 minutes, is Sanchez passing. How badly do we need his range of passing today? Because I'll be honest with you, what I've seen at times last week, Wolves pressed Leicester very high, matched up their fullbacks, got onto the two in midfield, and basically, let Jimenez chase around between the two centre-backs, and they forced them into mistakes and were getting the ball very high up. And we know Sanchez and Dyer can be a liability at times on the ball. How important today, A, is it that Moon Boots just does the right thing, but B, Sanchez's passing prowess really comes to the fore today with his long passes, because I think we'll need them.
Really good question, David, actually. I mean, maybe what I would first say is that in the case of, it's just, we know that Man City press, almost more intensely than almost any other team. So you could consider that if maybe Moon Boots and Sanchez don't switch off, maybe they don't underestimate, let's say, the Wolves, pressing system, then they probably could have an even better performance than they did against City, in terms of being able to, to break the press. But if they maybe switch off against the likes of Wolves, if maybe they kind of, if they underestimate them, then, we might actually see, a big, atrocious error from them. We might see, the ball get taken off them, in a possible really dangerous moment. But I would say, Man City, probably press even more intelligently, even better than the likes of Wolves. So the way that they handled that, if they were able to perform even nearly to the same level, I think we should be fine.
Yeah, 100%. I fully agree, Jack. I fully agree. Well, look, before we let you go, why not plug your channel? Then I want to get your score prediction, maybe get them pumped up, and then on a come on, you Spurs.
Definitely, David. People probably recognize me from the Irish Hotspur, and so now we're trying to dip into different avenues. We want to just basically just be everywhere in terms of football, and so we have a second channel that I'm going to be leading. It's an extension of the Irish Hotspur, and it's going to be called Flat Cap Euro Talk. It's down there under my name, hopefully. And then with Flat Cap Euro Talk, it's basically just going to be a place where if you're a Spurs fan and, you maybe you're in the unfortunate scenario where you find yourself, always having to talk to your Chelsea, friend or, your Liverpool friend, maybe this could be the channel where you could kind of guys could just connect and just talk football. That's maybe outside of Spurs, because it's kind of hard to sometimes get your Liverpool friends or your Chelsea friends to to be able to talk Spurs with you. So you might just find maybe that avenue to talk Holland, maybe talk Mbappe, whatever you guys are into. It's basically just a place for you guys to find a Spurs fan leading a channel, but as well maybe talking about more neutral things in football, everything from the Champions League to El Clasico to the Bundesliga, whatever you guys like. And it's growing quite fast. We started on Wednesday. Haven't checked. I think we're close to over 130 subscribers. So please, if you guys are interested. I mean, it's impossible to keep up as well. The Harris Army has been bringing us up. The Flat Cap Army has been bringing us up. So please, if you're interested, head on over. I'd appreciate the support. We even have a predicted top 6 for all of Europe's top 5 leagues with Darius from Paxton Road. So if you're interested in that, that'll be out Monday. I didn't want to release it today to distract you guys, but maybe post-win, or maybe a worse result, let's say, and Monday, and you're kind of just thinking, what can I watch that's, not Spurs related? Definitely check that out.
100%. Everybody do get over there and check it out. It's an absolute brilliant channel, and the plans for it is going to be absolutely special as well. But Jack, before you go, I want to get your score prediction. I want to get the players you think is going to score, and then get us pumped up.
David, I feel like with Wolves, it's really hard to say, the 2-0s or the 3-0s. But I'm going to go with the 2-0. And it's hard, though, because it feels like it's always going to be a 1-goal affair with them. But this one, it's going to be Sonny and Bergwijn for me. I feel like Bergwijn's just going to have to, be able to step up, because, Kane's going to be coming on in the 60th minute, like I said, David. So, he's going to have to score soon. He doesn't have a lot of time. He's going to have to be able to realize, he can't lay it off to Sonny. Maybe he will lay it off to Sonny. Maybe Sonny will be there and Sonny will get the brace. But I feel like, Bergwijn's going to have to get an assist or a goal. And, honestly, what else? I would say, it's going to be the 2-0. And Nuno we trust. Come on, you Spurs. Let's get it, lads.
Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely love it, Jack. Jack, thank you so much for popping on, my man.
Big up, David.
Really
David.
do appreciate it. You're an absolute legend. And we'll see you again.
Nuno we trust, everybody.
In Nuno we trust. Big up, Jack, guys. What an absolute legend. So, look, just a few things, just a few score predictions here. Henry Liebel is going 2-1. Soiree 22 is gone 2-1. Nick Nettelbach is gone 3-1 Spurs. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love the score prediction, guys, there. Orlando Breloom is gone 2-1 Spurs. Smart Donut has gone 2-0 Spurs. Everton Football 1-0 Spurs. Harrison the PT 3-0 Spurs. And Caleb Cobb 4-0 Spurs. So look, you guys, I must be doing my job if we're getting all these predictions for Spurs. Ribsy 85 1-0 Spurs. Robert Davies 2-1. Moline is 4-0. Luke Trinaman, good to see you 2-1. Big yourselves up. Vikas Stuk has gone 7-0. So when you see Henry putting in 24-0, the job is done, guys. The job is done. We've got you pumped. So look, I absolutely cannot wait. We'll just run through the starting lineup one more time. Lloris is in goals. Tanganga, Sanchez, Dyer, Reguilon form the back four with a midfield three of Højbjerg, Skip, Dele Alli, Lucas on the right, Bergwijn on the left, Son up top with Harry Kane on the bench. It's going to be an absolute cracker of a games. Me and Ronald McDonald are going to head up there now and start handing out some burgers to feed the wolves. And look, hopefully, they're not as hungry as we first thought. Look, I definitely think we're going to win this today. When we step over that white line, I want to see passion. I want to see desire. I want to see hunger. I want to see them doing anything for 3 points. Everyone fighting for the one cause. I want to see another team performance. At 2:00, we're stepping over the white line and we're taking it to the Molineux. We're going to absolutely rock the socks off the Molineux and get back down to London where we know it's going to be white. We're going to celebrate. And then, of course, watch Arsenal lose to Chelsea later on as well. And then AFTV and chill with a big tub of Ben & Jerry's, watching a few of them boys over there cry with what's happening to their horrible, horrible club. So, look, I'm going to go with Sonny. I'm going to go 2-0. I'm going to go Sonny to score. And I'm going to go Kane off the bench to get one. That's what I'm going with, guys. So, look, there you have it. There's your pre-match pump-up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. make sure you stay tuned for the watch along with Ben and Sim, where they will be bringing you the watch along for the Wolves game and bringing you all the way through to the post-match show. These guys have everything covered on match day, pre-match, post-match, and for the match. What more do you guys want here? If you've enjoyed me, get over to the Irish Hotspur and smash the subscribe button on the channel. Really does help me out. Make sure you like this stream, guys. Over 900 people watching, only 250 likes. We're better than this, guys. Make sure you smash that like, smash the subscribe. Come on, you Spurs. It's time to feed the Wolves. Let's have it. We're going to win this, baby. Over now.